Top condescending was Obama. I couldn't stand to watch that guy. He just looked down on top of everybody. Trump will get down in the dirt and work with you.
So
Obama
you
would never have done that.
You want respect, but you have a president who takes on women, minorities, everything but white
and you know what?
males.
He won the election. And he won.
He didn't get
and you
the
guys
popular
can't
vote.
handle that.
Hey, so we got to react to a surprising but not so surprising clip from CNN in which they got Frank Luntz to do a focus group of Biden and Trump supporters, and it did not go so well, okay? It went off the rail when you have Biden and Trump supporters in the same room, and then they get to talking about the issues and why they support their candidate or why they don't like the other candidate. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It was crazy, at least from the clips that I've seen. And I want to react to it because CNN is shocked by the environment that they helped create. Yes, they helped create the environment where we have so much divisiveness in our politics. And I think that this focus group is a good example of what I'm talking about, because the things that are going to be said during this argument, this shouting match by the liberal left, is a result of brainwashing from the mainstream liberal media, okay? The Trump derangement that is constant in the mainstream liberal media, making people believe false things about Trump that, again, contribute to the divisiveness in this country. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Hey there, investing feels overwhelming right now, doesn't it? So complicated, so many decisions. But leaving your money in the bank, not a great idea. It's losing value every single day. So if it's stressing you out and driving you nuts, why not invest smarter with Noble Gold investments? Precious metals are simple and real. There hasn't been a company or stock that was around 2,000 years ago, but guess what? Gold was around 2,000 years ago. It's always been there through wars, turmoil, and disasters. Reliable, dependent, authentic. That is why you cannot go wrong with precious metals. They've always had your back. Noble Gold Investment American experts will show you how to set and forget your 401k or IRA. You'll get a dedicated professional assigned to you. No hassle, no call centers. And this month, Noble Gold is giving away a free 1/4 ounce gold standard coin with every qualifying IRA investment. Visit noblegold.com to claim your gold coin. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
New tonight, President Biden taking a swipe at Donald Trump during a union conference.
When I look at the economy, I don't see through the eyes of Mar-a-Lago. I literally see through the eyes of Scranton, where I grew up at my grandpa's kitchen table. I see through the eyes of working people like you.
Well, 2024 shapes up to be a bitter rematch. Longtime Republican pollster Frank Luntz is sharing some never-before-seen video from his focus groups, sharing it with OutFront. Take a look.
Top condescending was Obama. I couldn't stand to watch that guy. He just looked down on top of everybody. Trump will get down in the dirt and work with you.
So
Obama would never have done that.
You want respect, but you have a president who takes on women, minorities, everything but white
and you know what?
males.
He won the election. And he won.
He didn't get
and
the
you guys
popular
can't
vote.
handle that.
He didn't.
I don't know why he's racist. You have to ask him. Because he sits up and he says, all those Mexicans are rapists and murderers. Okay, and then, yes, he did say that. Yes, he did. Can I finish my, I didn't say that. You're talking about, I'm talking about when he was running.
Yeah, I know. He said they send the worst among them. Some of them are rapists. Some of them are drug dealers and murderers.
They ask me what I feel.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? So as you can see there from that little snippet, the brainwashing is heavy, okay? And I'm not trying to say this in a way to be divisive, right? I'm not trying to be divisive, but I'm just telling the truth. What I heard from that little snippet, particularly from the Biden supporters, are a bunch of people who have been influenced by the mainstream liberal media to believe things that are false about Trump. Like the first guy was like, well, Trump takes on minorities and women. Well, what does that mean? What do you mean by Trump takes on minorities and women? What if Trump done that is so harmful for minorities and women. And don't tell me about overturning Roe v. Wade, okay? Because that did not take away women's right to abortion, okay? It's a state's issue. Roe v. Wade was legally incorrect, and it got fixed, okay? So, look, at the end of the day, I understand how Democrats try to play the game where they say, well, if you have policies that we disagree with, then you hate minorities, right? You're attacking minorities. But minorities were doing better than they ever had before under Trump, right? So if Trump was so bad for minorities, then why were minorities doing so well? Like, for example, why was black unemployment at an all-time low under Trump? Why was the rate of home ownership for black people going up? Why was Trump giving out all this money to HBCUs? Why was Trump pushing policies like opportunity zones that disproportionately help lower income neighborhoods receive capital? I'm just saying, these are all policies that Trump put out there in order to help so-called minorities, but yet he never gets credit for it. He never gets credit for it. There's always this narrative that Trump is against minorities when Trump has made more inroads with so-called minorities than any GOP presidential candidate in a long, long, long time, right? It's been a long time since the civil rights era. So again, I'm trying to figure out, as a so-called minority, what is Trump saying and doing that is so bad for minorities? Again, this comes from the mainstream liberal media, evidenced by the black woman talking about how Trump called all Mexicans rapist, right? This is what she said. Again, clear and obvious brainwashing from the mainstream liberal media, because Trump did not do that. He was specifically talking about the criminals crossing the border. Everybody knows that's what he was saying. Everybody knows that's what he was talking about in context of the speech. But yet, again, the mainstream liberal media spun that to make it seem like Trump was talking about all Mexicans. And we see them doing that now with Trump's comments about how illegal immigrants, particularly criminals, are poisoning the blood of the country, right? The mainstream liberal media has spun that to say, well, Trump said all immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country, right? He's a racist, which again, he didn't say that. They tried to make a big deal out of Trump's bloodbath comments. Again, trying to say that he said things that he didn't actually really say. So best believe we kiki and ha-ha and we make jokes about how nobody watches CNN, but collectively, people do watch CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, all these liberal media conglomerates that are pushing the same anti-Trump, Trump deranged message. And what you just saw there was a result of that. So it matters. I mean, it 100% matters, and it works. It works, okay? It really does. Because those people are brainwashed. If it wasn't for the mainstream liberal media, those people would not be thinking the way that they're thinking right now about Trump. And this is why I say whenever Trumpers or, people that just don't like Trump, well, he's so divisive. And I'm like, no, it's not Trump that's divisive. If you actually listen to what Trump says, Trump is not being divisive. Okay? Listen to what he actually says. He's not being divisive. Okay? Biden is much more divisive than Trump when you actually listen to what he says. The people that are making Trump divisive are the media, right? It's the media. Trump's divisiveness is purely an invention of the media. It's not because of the things that Trump says. It's because of how the media spins the things that Trump says without playing it in full context to try to radicalize their audience, to try to radicalize Democrats and liberals in this country. That is what's happening.
Frank is with me now. So that's just that's a small snapshot, right? You shared a fair amount of video with us. When we look at that, you've said the country is more divided than ever. I think a lot of people would agree with you, but this video evidence, why? How? Why is it this bad? What are you learning from these groups in these moments?
That there's no editing anymore. There's no censorship. That we now say what we think. We say what we want people to hear rather than trying to learn. To me, it's not about the mistakes made. It's about the lessons learned. And no one's trying to learn anything from this. They simply want to be heard, and they will shout to be heard.
They want to be heard. Do they want to listen?
No, they don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. And my issue in this is children are watching. Our kids are watching this, and they're learning model behavior. There's a reason why in universities and in schools all across America, more young people are acting out. There's more shouting, there's more aggression, and that they see it from the politicians. They see it from Washington, D.C. They see it in focus groups like
They may
this.
see it at a school board meeting.
And the school boards are the worst.
Yes.
Parents go there and they threaten the people on the school board. You have to get cops in there. What is wrong with this country that we've gone that far? That's my question I keep asking.
So it's
See, now here's the thing. You know, they're bringing up school boards as a way to kind of take a shot at the right? That's who they're really trying to take a shot at, because the parents that are the most upset at these school boards tend to be conservative parents that are upset with liberal, woke, progressive agendas being pushed on their kids. But here's the kicker. When you talk about young people being so upset, aka radicalized, right, lashing out, well, that's because they're being brainwashed, right, just like the adults in this country, by the mainstream liberal media in the far left to believe certain things about certain issues that make them feel like they have to act out. Like we saw it with police brutality. After George Floyd was killed, the George Floydification of this country, where you had all of these young people out in the streets rioting and destroying liberal cities, setting stuff on fire, vandalizing things. Again, just pure chaos and destruction for months straight. Months straight. Well, again, how and why did they learn to do that? Well, it came from the liberal left. It came from left-wing ideology, this false idea that police are out here indiscriminately hunting down and killing black folks, something that was promoted by celebrities like LeBron James, who has a young audience of people that look up to him and listen to him. These types of individuals, plus Democrats, were putting out this false message that radicalized people, okay? Look at the issue of Roe v. Wade being overturned. Democrats falsely said that Roe v. Wade being overturned meant that abortion was banned across the country, right? It was banned all over the country, which was false, not true. What did it lead to? It led to violence from the far left. These people went out and threatened Supreme Court justices. In one case, we had an assassination attempt. They were following them into restaurants and their homes and stuff like that. All types of crazy stuff was going on. Again, radicalized by the left. You have now the pro-Palestine protesters, right? These people are radicalized. I mean, we're doing news stories every single day about how these people are in the streets causing all types of chaos and destruction and violence and all types of crazy stuff. Well, again, how did they become radicalized? Well, a lot of these kids tend to be at higher education institutions in woke academia that is teaching them about toxic liberal ideologies like intersectionality to make them believe that the plight of the Palestinians is their plight, right? This is why you have LGBTQ for Palestine, right? Even though to me that seems like an oxymoron, doesn't seem to be very consistent. It doesn't really make sense, but it's a thing because of far left ideologies making these people think that, well, hey, I'm oppressed just like they're oppressed, therefore I need to stand with them. And they do so in radical ways, okay? This is why they're throwing out the G word, okay? Every chance they get, they're throwing out the G word. They do that as a way of radicalizing people. And the result is violence and destruction, right? That's the result. So again, they could boo-hoo, whine, and cry about school boards all they want. They really want to bring that up. But if you really want to get into this conversation, we can get into this conversation because a vast majority of the radicalization and divisiveness in this country is coming from the left, overwhelmingly coming from the left. And it's not even close.
I think it's a question a lot of Americans are asking. I was struck, too. You also sat down recently with some younger voters, and you talked to them specifically about democracy. I want to play those moments.
Is our democracy in danger of failing? Raise your hands if you say yes. Wow, I'm shocked at how many. Does anyone here, by a show of hands, think our democracy is truly strong? You got two people, that's it.
Two hands.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. I don't know what to do about it. This is my craft. This has been my trade for the last 30 years. I've been seeing this get worse and worse. 74% of Americans now say they're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. 83% say we're more divided than we've ever been. Even people 65 and older, old enough to remember the killing of Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, our cities burning down. They say this is the most divided it's ever been.
They're mad as hell. They're not going to take it anymore. You said, what, 74%? But why are they mad? Can they articulate why they're mad?
Yeah.
Well, again, a lot of it is because of mainstream liberal media brainwashing. Again, this guy just asked a bunch of young voters about democracy being in danger and failing or whatever, right? And they're shocked that, oh, young people aren't happy. They're mad, which again, this is something that I think has just been historically true, right? Young people have always kind of been like the generation of kind of, you know, being upset about something, right? Feeling like the world is coming to an end. Okay, that's always been the younger generation. That's not abnormal. But when you talk about democracy, every single day when you flip on the television, on the mainstream liberal media, they're telling you that because of Trump, democracy's in danger. Democracy is under attack. So, yeah, it's no surprise that they would feel like that democracy is in danger or that is under attack or that is failing, because that's what they're being told every single day. Every time Trump's name is brought up, democracy, 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 even though the Democratic Party isn't very democratic. And I think that Democrats are the real threat to our republic, not Trump. But regardless, is there any surprise that they believe this stuff, considering how this is what the mainstream liberal media says every single day? I'm just saying.
Yes, they believe they've been ignored, forgotten, and the worst of all, betrayed. And I'm paying attention to the words and phrases they use, because the stronger the language, the greater the anger. And I've seen this and I feel this, and I'm reminding them, your children are watching, your friends are watching, and they don't care anymore because they want to own the opposition rather than change the opposition.
Or talk to the opposition. Really quickly, too, because I do want to get to one other topic with you. The younger voters who you spoke with there, who see the democracy at risk, only 2 of them said that democracy is strong. Where are they? Are they mad as hell? Are they just throwing up their hands? Do they want to try to change anything?
They don't like anybody. They see Joe Biden as being too old. They see Donald Trump as being corrupt. They don't like anyone. They don't have anyone to follow. They're looking for a role model. They're looking for someone to aspire to be, and they don't see it. Mm-hmm. And that's their frustration.
So that's the frustration. We're going to see if they're able to change it. I do want to ask you about, you posted, probably a lot of people who are watching may have seen a tweet from you in the last day. You posted that you suffered a stroke on Monday, and yet you're sitting here tonight. Part of the reason you wanted to come in was to share that information, but also to talk about some real health concerns. So before I let you go, I do want to give you a moment to do that, and to share with our viewers why that's so important to you.
Because it's personal responsibility, and I'm supposed to act properly. I'm supposed to know what is right, what is wrong. I was very active in getting people vaccinated during COVID. I've been very active in a nonpartisan way in trying to teach people what's the right thing to do, and then I behave badly, and I suffer for it. And so I look at people right now, take your medications, do what your doctors tell you to do, and we have to take personal responsibility in this country. We can no longer blame other people, no longer say it's their fault. It's my fault. I got it wrong. Behave properly and do the right thing, and we can save our country.
We'll see if this...
Yeah, so again, I wish Frank would have said that, you know, since we're talking about personal responsibility and accountability, this outlet, CNN, should take some responsibility and accountability for dividing this country, because a lot of the things that the left is saying in regards to the divisiveness comes from CNN, right? It comes from what they hear on mainstream liberal media every single day, and I think that they're responsible for it. I really do. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.